How do you play when it's all on the line? Let's set the stage. It's the semifinals of a Reload Rio, the tournament to kick off R6's competitive year. Teams play for $500,000 to become champions and lift one of the coolest trophies in esports, Blackbeard's Shields. Furia faces off against their Brazilian rivals, W7M, in a stadium bursting with passion. The atmosphere electric as the teams face off. Despite the unbelievable skill of this roster, Furia have been facing struggles of late. A whole year of dominance had them unquestionably the best team in the world, but since their win at the Six Invitational in Sao Paulo, they've been on a bit of a cold streak. Tournament after tournament, they've suffered early exits, but now, back in home territory, they're looking to make a statement. But as the teams load into Border, things start poorly for the Panthers. Round after round fails to go their way, and as they get into the second half, they find themselves facing a convincing deficit. 5-1 is the scoreline, but Furia have faced worse before, and this team's tenacity is a huge part of what makes them so special. They've got hardly any room for mistakes, but the game isn't over yet, and if there's any team that can do it, it would be Furia. Just like in Sao Paulo, these odds seem insurmountable, but don't ever count these boys out, because they're the type to make impossible comebacks look almost ordinary. Let's see how it goes. But before getting into things, has this ever happened to you? With Seige X out now, there's never been a better time to take your gameplay to the next level, and now, with GearUP, you can. I've worked with GearUP before, and the user-friendly nature of their interface was a huge selling point to me, so I was thrilled when they approached me to work together on another video. The best thing about GearUP is its ping reduction, allowing you to be snappier with reactions to improve your skills. GearUP also features anti-packet loss technology, allowing you to have frustration-free gameplay. Over the years playing Siege, I've made friends in all sorts of different regions, and now with GearUP, it's more possible than ever to play cross-regional with them. But this isn't just for PC. Now, with HyperRev, you too can boost your gameplay with the best gaming router on the market for under $100. And if that wasn't good enough, it comes with 2 complimentary Ethernet cables to get everything set up. So what are you waiting for? GearUP is trusted by all sorts of different Siege content creators, including Sir Pineapple and Thekil. So take your gameplay to the next level using my link in the description down below and the code HIGHBEAR when signing up. New users will also get a free trial and 60% off their first purchase. Thanks again to GearUP for their support in this video, and now back to the breakdown. The side swap, and Furia find themselves on the defensive side of Border. They ban out both Blackbeard and Blitz, looking to remove some of the powerful shield operators which make this map's defense so difficult. They start off playing a top floor hold, using the castle and Mira to create power positions at various points throughout upstairs, wanting to use these spots to draw out utility, forcing a weaker execute for W7M come time to hit site. W7M decide to take East, looking to open up the office walls and use it as a springboard from which to commence their attack. East is pretty much the only point inside top floor not directly contested by the defense. But that means Furia are set up to defend it. With mirror windows, mute jammers, and maestro cams to boot, this space is difficult to even begin to take, and Furia don't want to give W7M anything. See, Border is a map where the expectation for the defense is to aggressively fight the attack. But as W7M open up office and clear out the Miro window archives, Furia are almost suspiciously quiet. With seemingly nobody to confront them, W7M decide it's time to hit site. They set up with OS outside archives, looking to walk in and plant behind the shield. But Furia have a win condition sitting in JV's pocket, and this 1C4 might be the only thing they need to win the round.
Habana's pre-prepped and W7M will go bang.
Only one Nitrocell available. JV92 has that. 30 seconds, still some time. If they go now, W7M, you can of course be able to change things up. They put the also shield down. Look with the plant behind it. It doesn't work. I mean, the Nitrocell just completely misses the mark. It's a free plant.
Heartbreak for Furia as JV's C4 gets caught in a shelf which blocks the explosive's entire radius. But this is Furia we're talking about, and this team is allergic to losing rounds. With their setup outside East and the diffuser planted archives door, this is an unlosable post plant for W7M. Furia's only hope is to hit 3 unbelievable shots, so they coordinate with 2 to retake archives and 1 to distract by jumping out East, before giving this retake their best shot.
I've got to be able to defend that a lot better and a lot quicker. Not switched on. They just allow them through the front door. It's a 3v3, but this is so difficult to bring it back. You've got to go for runouts. And so far, so successful. And only Palu left. They can start to stick for that counter defuse. And finally, Furia are starting to worry a little bit.
Okay. Furia pull off the impossible, hitting 3 back-to-back miracle headshots to take down the 3 remaining attackers. They saved themselves from facing match point, but there's some work to do yet. They still trail by 2, and as W7M pick into the Glaz, Grim, and Lion, this round could yet be dangerous. Bathroom and Tellers is the site, with Furia starting upstairs to contest the entries Break, East, and Armory. They make sure they're seen making all these holes, but their plan isn't everything it seems. The round starts, and Furia immediately reinforce off 90. Their idea was just to fake pressure at W7M's favored entry before falling back, refusing the attack any fights. To their credit, W7M spot this instantly, and Palu drones Dots, allowing him to aggressively take space towards office.
But this is where for W7M, you've got to try and put them down while they are wounded. Early entry, Dots down over towards main hallway, and he's got Kid by the way. That's Kid in a bad spot, and that's Herds with the opening kill.
A shutdown by Herds. By contesting less space, Furia play closer together, holding crossfires onto the choke point office door, leading to an easy opener for the defense. But elsewhere, as the office fight goes down, W7M have more machinations afoot. Not wanting to rely on a single solo play, Dodez simultaneously walks in Armory to try and see if he can't take some space elsewhere. But as he does, Key's intuition starts to tingle, and he makes his way to see if anyone has tried to catch the timing.
Dots just went for a walkabout.
He just walked into a triple crossfire.
By himself. That might be the first real blemish from W7M. And Dodez will for KZ as well.
Another easy shutdown, and suddenly, Furia find themselves with a convincing advantage. Now, all they need to do is sit still, hold their crossfires, and wait for the remaining attackers to push it to secure what should be an easy round.
Palu almost got a freebie. Now he needs to be the one to try and break down this office defense, but they're filing in one by one, and Furia are cutting them down with ease.
Simplicity at its best right now for Furia. Key positions, and W7M just walk into the nest. And Loban's down, probably out for the count. That's flawless.
After their unbelievable comeback last year, the most tenacious team in esports is running back another impossible game. The energy in the arena is rising, the fans chanting their name as they move to try and continue the magic. But W7M are no joke, and Furia fail to hold on to their offsite. A gap towards vents proves just a bit too big, and with an almost flawless rush attack, Furia find themselves facing match point. Now, 3 rounds in a row are needed to force overtime and give themselves a chance. Surely, this is too much to ask. But there's no choice but to try. And as Furia load in to defend upstairs once again, they know they need to be flawless from here on out. Once again, W7M lean into execute ops. However, this time, they bring along the Flores and Brava to get rid of castle barricades and bulletproof cans. Once again, the attack starts over towards East, posturing as before like they're going for an archives take. But this team is tricky and have something else in mind. They set up using the Brava in order to clear out utility towards site, before Dots tosses out a smoke to force a response out of Furia. He's hoping to burn any C4s they might have, but the EchoCam archives is able to spot nothing is actually going down. In the meantime, Loban and Herds take each other out downstairs. But despite this being a trade, it has the potential to actually favor the attack. See, with the Vigil taken down, Dots thinks he has an opportunity and decides to rotate downstairs to try a lurk up metal. With his opponent's attention still turned towards archives, this could be devastating. Will it work?
In anticipation as to what W7M is going to do, that means the onus is on W7M.
He's spotted on the cam, but he decides to continue anyways.
Either on defense or attack. They've been the leaders and Furia have been the followers.
Dots has the future.
Oh, a chance for Dots. A headshot was available. Top metal, but it's KZ that lands it.
Dots is taken down, but the pressure continues to mount. Palu finds a kill from the archives window, and as the rest of the attack swarms the site, for some reason, Keys decides to run downstairs? Nate and JV are left alone in sight, and with Palu and Volps pushing archives while Dodez pinches Armory, they find themselves in a dangerous position.
Not a lot of time as well for them, only 30 seconds left. They can't keep posturing outside.
And only one drone for information as well. Furia should be able to lock this one down.
Red ping information that Palu wants to play off of. They do not have the diffuser. They're looking for the kills, and they will find one onto JV92 and leaves KZ.
Oh.
What is Keys doing? He sells his teammates upstairs as W7M pick off both site players untraded. He's given up the entire site, all his teammates, and has made the round look downright unwinnable. But with time ticking down, he knows something we don't. W7M don't have the bomb. Dots was the carrier, and it's sitting bottom metal on the body of the dead Brava. Keys is actually a genius, playing the win condition perfectly, knowing W7M need the case to win the round. But there's still time on the board, and as W7M realize what's going on, they collect themselves and push down metal to collapse on the castle playing case. In a 1v3 while facing down match point, it'll still take some heroics for Keys to save this round.
He's not in the site. They can't find him. 15 seconds left. He's looking to play that kit. They must find this kill. And KZ must stay alive. Shoots one, knows there's close left. That's Palu down metal. Time. Can't the other. There's only 4 seconds left.
Furia are doing it. This team is just magical, but they're still not out of the woods just yet. Keys has kept them alive, but they need to be better if they want to be the ones to convert this game. Back on Bathroom, Furia start defending upstairs once again, but W7M have learned their lesson and are unlikely to simply walk in and give Furia freebies this time around. The whole setup is actually quite different, with Keys playing Oryx directly contesting CC. The trade-off here is that with more extension, Furia can't play as close together, meaning there is an opportunity for W7M to spot a weakness and overwhelm it, and they think they see an opportunity. Playing on East Stairs, Philippox is actually pretty far away from any of his teammates, and W7M leap into action in order to capitalize. They send Volps into Passport in order to cut off his fall, while Dots and Dodez push off the shield to overwhelm him from the front. With all the pressure converging on East, this should certainly be an opener for the attack.
Exactly.
Triple shield ban as well, which means for W7M, over towards East Stairs, and Philippox hits the headshot onto Dots, who got aggressive on the fuse. The one shield that... And that's headshot for KZ, Imperial fighting that magic!
What? Philippox does the impossible and completely shuts down both attackers, including knifing Dodez as he vaults the banister. Elsewhere, Nade and Keys pick up one apiece before Philippox adds another to his tally with an insane shot onto the final attacker Passport. The comeback continues, Furia one round away from taking us to overtime. But first, they need to take a defense on the only site they've lost so far. Making matters worse, the rush they faced last time on this site is set to be even more powerful. W7M took advantage of the Ying to blind out the players playing vertical from above, and now they've banned the Warden, making these flashes impossible to counter. And with this in mind, they decide to do it again. Palu sets up outside Sandwich to toss in Candelas, with Dots outside Vents to smoke off the vert. The rest of his team set up outside Archives window and Office, ready to work off the chaos to take space upstairs as insurance in case the plant fails to go down.
We've seen on a few occasions him use that effectively to gain space. Again, Sandwich window. Do they shape up once more to go direct? Diffuser dropped. Nade for the first, that's the Ying.
4 of the last 5 opening kills now to Furia, starting to gain ascendancy, but a quick double from Dodez and Loban. But KZ out front entrance gets his 14th kill of this map. It's a fast round, that's what W7M wants there, but then spotted from behind. JV92 gets a freebie. Dodez checks the angle, but then JV switches off.
An insane jump out from Nade in the face of the first set of flashes is able to take down Palu. He's traded back before W7M find Philippox as they take across top. The fights continue with an aggressive swing out front door from Keys to equalize and a 1-for-1 upstairs as JV rots half wall. Now, in a 2v2, Volps and Loban are left to try and convert, but their situation is far from ideal. The only thing they have going for them is the clock. Tons of time with which to work, but they have literally no info. One drone from Loban is their only tool to suss things out. And with Keys playing the Vigil, half the remaining defenders can't even be droned. Loban decides to try anyways, but the drone is instantly shot. Now, with time ticking down, they need to make a move. They group up and look to pinch bottom metal, with Volps walking down the stairs and Loben dropping hatch. But with no real info on the defender positions, it isn't likely they'll win the round.
Yeah, that vigil is so annoying to try and find now.
Didn't really find all that much. I mean, pressure over towards Custom.
Don't really have the drones either. Nor will that really be that impactful against the vigil. So straight down metal stairs. KZ, the peak, the headshot, the moment. It's his map right now, and Loben's looking to steal it away, but Hart is his Robin to the KZ button!
Furia have done it once again, forcing overtime from an impossible position. But now, they need to close it out, winning 2 of the next 3 rounds to take the game. They start overtime on the defense once again, looking to continue their streak from the defensive side. With all the sites unlocked, they opt once more to start Armory. And having lost their archive side twice already, W7M opt for something entirely different. They bring along the Amaru, wanting to repel in Sandwich while pinching the Headhole's Armory to overwhelm the Echo of JV. Remember, W7M have thus far exclusively attacked archives on this site, so Furia are subconsciously expecting the same. And W7M use the rest of their players to fake a side take, playing into these expectations. Volps shoots Bs into archives while Palu makes noise AC window, and as the distraction comes through, the rest of the attack leaps into action.
They're just being patient.
Super patient, but will it pay off?
Here we go.
To be honest, they probably have to just go for something at this point. Dots in. The Amaru. Immediate though, it's the entry kill from JV92, but traded by Dodas, who was expecting more aggression from that defense once they got that opening pick. Nade falls, but so does Loben. Keeps things 3v3. Big shot though. KZ once again, and Dodes is down. 16 now for KZ. Low on health, wants to get the confirm. Bolt also goes down elsewhere and leaves it down to Palu. 40 seconds.
Palu desperately wants this trophy. He desperately wants to win this round, but Furia don't let him have it.
Failure to start for W7M as they're completely shut down by Furia's close site play and trade game. By working off each other, Furia ensure nobody is taken down all alone, allowing them to convert another defensive round. Furia have done it. After so long with their backs against the wall, they now find themselves with the opportunity to close things down. The only problem is now they find themselves on the attack. So far this game, only 2 rounds have gone the way of the offense. But with how much Keys has been heating up in the second half, as long as he's alive, there may yet be a chance. The round starts, and Furia start working their way to attempt a CC clear in order to enable an armory take. With just Dodas in security, if this collapse comes fast enough, it could be problematic for the isolated defender. But with Goyo canisters ready to deploy on every entry into CC, it isn't as straightforward as it initially seems.
At least not initially from Furia. They'll posture over towards security, and the gates then likely used to lock down this control once they fight for it.
Oh, Hertz is low, very low. He's down. He's just into the fire of the flames. The Vulcan canister will be his demise, and Philippe goes down as well.
Furia toss out smokes to break up the crossfire between Armory and CC, but in response, Dodas pops the Goyo on the CC window. This serves to deny the entry point for the attack, but already in the process of the push, Herds hops in anyways, where he's taken down by the fire. Elsewhere, Philippox attempts a lurk in archives, but Dots is posted up, holding the gap, and managed to collect an easy kill. Suddenly, W7M find themselves with a convincing advantage. Now, all they need to do is sit still, hold their crossfires, and wait for the remaining attackers to push in to secure what should be an easy round. The only problem is they're facing Furia, and this team has a specialty when it comes to winning rounds they should in no way be able to take.
Such difficult obstacles for the attacking team.
How does Nade get out of this position? I mean, good luck. Look at the cross. Dodas, Palu, you're in a lot of trouble.
Needs someone to stand up here for Furia to pull this round back. The drone to maybe just try and draw the attention away. Dodas, and it works!
Hello?
Nade's able to get the kill. Nade does get out the corner, and he takes 2 with him as well for good. They all fall apart! Dots in a 1v1 against KZ!
Insanity out of Furia as they instantly bring bodies back. Keys plays to distract break room door before Nade walks up and collects a heads up double, taking down defenders on either side of him as he stands in the middle of their crossfire. Then, he continues to hold CC, taking down Loben as he tries to swing for a refrag before finally being taken down himself from Armory. Meanwhile, JV holds 2, posting up on the CC window, expecting W7M to attempt to respond to the round spiraling. He reads things perfectly, taking down Loban, but he's also downed in the process, leaving just Keys in a 1v1. Keys has been having an unreal game, finding himself several times the hero Furia needed. And now, he has the opportunity to put the map away. With the crowd chanting behind him, the game on his shoulders. Can he do it?
But he holds.
Dots
He
is
calms
watching it.
down and wants to see if Dots makes a move.
The problem for KZ, no info. Nobody in his team watching drones.
KZ already so many.